So many breakthroughs, so many transformations, and a lot of action, in fact. That's how last couple of weeks is going for us. And even before I get into all of those things in this episode, I want to know, Dr. Surya, what brings you this handsome to the podcast today?
Honestly speaking, there are a series of videos I'm supposed to record. I'm going on a long, extensive travel, and I just want to ensure that I have all those videos recorded, all those tasks done, so that I don't have to worry about the 2 weeks of travel that I'm doing. But more than that, I would say I have to, maybe not to that extent, but at least remotely try and close to what's that called? To complement the beauty and grace that you are bringing in, Yogeshwari. This is the least that I can do, isn't it?
Looks like after a long time, we have all dressed up traditionally for a video. Last time when we did this was in 2021, I remember, during one of our Toastmasters speechcraft. Yes, that was the time we dressed up like this and we did that speechcraft, especially the culmination session of the speechcraft. I could still recall. And after that, after 3 years, we are back in the form. We have actually started. Yeah, you have something to share?
4 years. 2021 July, that was the time. Now it's already what, November 2025. So 4 years. Yeah. You were saying about it's been 4 years since we.
So we are already back in the form. And that time it was speechcraft. And right now, our Speak to Lead cohort is up. In fact, the kind of live that we are doing every single day on LinkedIn, I'm actually doing only on LinkedIn, people, for your information. YouTube, I'm not yet ready. I have a different set of perfectionism when it comes to YouTube, so I'm not going live on YouTube. If you want to see me, you have to find me on LinkedIn. I'll leave the profile link down there. We are doing every single day live where I take one concept and then I'm going to talk about myself right now, even before, just because I touched upon it, I want to give them the context. So I'll leave the profile link. I'm taking a concept and I'm decoding it, helping you work on that one step at a time on communication. However, Dr. Surya, right now, he is going live both on YouTube as well as on LinkedIn. You can check out his live on his profile. So the lives have started and we are getting pretty good pretty good, what word is that, response from our students, from the people who are watching our live. And the live is cohort is getting, the seats are getting filled up very quickly. And you can see that right now. I'm excited. I'm like out of words. So I want, Surya, you to take it from here. How has the week has been, and what is the highlight of the week for you?
There's one side of it which is the positive. There's the other side which is the improvement side of it. The positive side of it would be, I think I did mention that I took a pay cut in my job. So with respect to the job, the performance was not as good as I would have expected. So I was the least performing member in my team. And oftentimes what happens is we get into that whole, oh my God, why was I not able to do it and everything. But because of this momentum that we have built through this live, the options are, what are the action steps that I can take from this moment on? What did I learn? What did I not do well enough? And what are the action steps that I can take? So for me, that has what has been the scenario. Right now, you mentioned about the LinkedIn Live as well as the YouTube. So even there as well, we, before, you remember, we started creating content, and I always used to tell you, you're creating content, you're getting this many million impressions, so what? But now we see that it's getting results as well. We're getting people who are interested in joining the cohort. We created the cohort with this whole perception, with this whole ideology that we are not going to become gyanis and give you all kind of gyan about public speaking, because public speaking and communication is actually about public speaking and communication. And every cohort session that we have designed, between each sessions, well, 80%, 88 to 85% of the whole experience of the across the 30 days is only and only implementation. I'm so proud that we created that and we started getting the seats filled in. Along with that, I also feel that I'm super proud that we were able to make the most of this whole experience over the last one. I'm just checking the calendar. I think 24th, just one second. I think it was 20, yeah, 20th and 20th October was Diwali. And on Diwali, guess what we were doing? We were recording our podcast. We were brainstorming for the cohort. We were preparing for our lives. And sincerely feel that we don't need a brand new year to take action, start taking action. Rather, we can make sure that we use the last quarter of the year to build so much of momentum that once the new year starts, we go all guns blazing. And I'm so blessed that you and I are doing it together. For people watching right now, uh, hopefully we will not publicly put those videos out. We may, I don't really know, but there was a time in 2021 when I think our courtship phase was going on, where every single afternoon, you can see Yogeshwari blushing already, every single afternoon we'll spend around an hour or two just to talk about anything and everything. And I would tell her how beautiful she's looking. She's only continued to grow more and more beautiful ever since. And we would discuss about so many different things every single day, and we have all of those videos on record. So I'm very happy that now we have started publicly making these videos, and these interactions are more like what us sharing the updates of what's going on, what's not going on. So that's how my week has been, Yogesh.
I remember during those courtship days, during those videos when we used to talk over Zoom, I remember we had also shared a lot of dreams about how we want our coaching program to be, how we want to take this communication to the next level, how we want to help people. Now I think every single dream that we had discussed back then is getting into a reality right now, getting into fruition right now. And I'm so glad that we did that at that time, and I'm so glad that we are doing this right now. Yes, there could be a lot of ups and downs, but that's the point. That's how it is. When it is all up, high energy, good. Keep it up. Keep up the momentum. When you feel low, still try to get up. Even if you fall, that's okay. Just get up. And that's what we are doing, one step at a time right now. And yes, as Surya said, on Diwali, we didn't even go out. We were just doing brainstorming and creating the cohort details. In fact, I remember on the day of Diwali is what we actually designed the cohort outline. If I'm not wrong, we did those back to back speeches, we did those back to back impromptu, tested it ourselves. We designed how everything is going to be. And today we are discussing about that with this beautiful attire. Looks like we are celebrating our Diwali today with you all. And thank you so much for being there right now, listening to us. In fact, I'm getting emotional because for us, the dream is to help as many people as possible. I was an introvert once. Surya went through a lot of bullying and so much during school, college, and even after college. There were a lot of times when we couldn't express ourselves, we couldn't share what we wanted to share. There were always people overpowering us. We were able to break through every single thing. Right now, we are having a great relationship with our parents, with our respective parents. We are having a great relationship within us, Surya and I. We have some amazing friends. We have very few, a small friend circle, but I would say I can count on every single one of them when we really need them, and they can count on us. We are not just friends for the sake of it. And life has started to become beautiful. We didn't wait for January 2026 to start. We decided we are not feeling good. We need to do something. And we sat, we broke it down, we had the breakthrough. When we looked at ourselves in the mirror, the internal voice started telling, I'm not feeling good looking at you in the mirror. That's when we decided, okay, I'm going to have a breakthrough right now. And we started getting up in the morning. We started working on ourselves. Probably when we wanted to record this particular podcast, we just told ourselves that why always ordinary dress? Why don't we look a little look a little interesting, little better, little beautiful, little handsome to the ones who are listening and for you who is viewing this particular podcast. And here we are. So we learned how to take immediate action. And that's what we are going to talk about in this episode. So, Surya, we'll start with how was our relationship with our parents and how is it right now? What did we do to come to this state where we are?
I think before we even touch upon that point, here's just a follow-up thought of what you were sharing. When I look at a couple of the patterns that we see on people who are from the previous generation, our elders, parents, we even see that amongst our friends also as we have been growing up. I should have done that at that point of time. I could have done this. I should have done this. Why didn't I do it at that time and all? And because we are so much subjected to the society, right? We are reflections of the society anyway. Knowingly, unknowingly, consciously, unconsciously, it pierces through our awareness and that becomes our second nature. To such a point where I think Yogeshwari will vouch for this. There were times when I would literally charge her. Huh, you are putting so much of efforts. We'll see how much results you're going to get. Oh, you're investing in your social media. You don't even have that money and you're investing, taking a loan to invest. All these things sabotaged the success. Instead of helping, I was hurting. And when you do try to do something out of desperation, when you try to do something out of scarcity, your vibe attracts your tribe. Even before we get into the parents part, because we have this beautiful flow of the conversation, Yogeshwari, I feel it's important when we decode us first. I mean, that's what I would want if that's possible. When we had that discussion, what are the things that we discussed? What are the questions that I asked? What is the way she approached? What are her thoughts? What are my thoughts? All of those things, we were clear internally, individually first. So I started asking myself, why am I talking to Yogeshwari these days this way? She's the love of my life. She's my better half. She is everything that I am is after she came into my life. And yet, what is it inside of me that is making me talk like that to her? It all started from there. Now, mind you, the love has always been there. The love will always be there. But then at times when you talk to each other every day, you're like spending so much time with each other. The human mind is such that when you keep getting something over and over again, kind of take it for granted, don't we? How were we able to literally seduce ourselves and hypnotize ourselves into expressing gratitude every day, taking the action steps every day, going live every day? Yogeshwari has been doing her workouts every day. I've been a little lazy last 3 4 5 days. I have to be honest and say that true. So that is the head start of something big. Now, once when we were clear about our communication, we were able to extend that out to communicating with others as well. So this is what is going on in my mind, Yogeshwari. I want to know your thoughts on this.
I just want to decode the things that you shared. Number one, we were hurting each other. It's not just you hurting me. In fact, I was also doing something that you didn't appreciate and I didn't change myself. So we were hurting each other and this was because number one, we were not clear about what did we want in first place. We were not clear. I was not clear that what did I want and I didn't communicate that to you. See, this is what I want. This is how I want you to behave. This is how I'll respond and give me this space. Yes, we love each other, but personal space is very important. That respect is very important. When that personal space and respect is breached, that's when That all those feelings of hurt, all those feelings of why is this person doing this? Does, is this person really in love with me? Do I really love this person? All of those things come up because you cannot love anyone else the way you love yourself, right? You can test it out. Is if take a no, I shouldn't be telling that, but I'll change something else. If you are getting hurt, you are the one who's going to feel the pain. Others or your loved ones, your mom, your dad, your spouse cannot feel it, right? And that's how it is. When we started understanding our personal space, we started understanding what do we want? What do I want from Surya? What does he want from me? When we started decoding that, that's when clarity started. So the first step of communication is clarity. The second step is actual communication, sharing that with the other person with a proper context. I remember in the couple of episodes we spoke about how to set context when you wanted to have that difficult conversation. So we started setting context. I wanted to share something. Is it a good time? Can I share something? I'm feeling so and so. I'm going through this. Can I get your attention? Can I get a judgment free space? Now, these are the words that we started using with each other. Whenever I feel things that things that would hurt me and that might turn up into a heated conversation, I walk up and I say, Surya, I wanted to share something. Are you free? Can I do so? Are you in the right mindset? Can I share this? Will I get a judgment free space? After that, I'll start with how I'm feeling. I'll not vent out, I'll not throw words, I'll not blame. These are two different things, mind you. Blaming is you are the one who, let's just take this one example. I was investing on social media, but I didn't have the money at that time. So I took up loan and I sold all the jewels that I had. In fact, the jewels from my parents also I got, and then I sold, and then I started investing, thinking that someday I would get the results. But until that someday, will I be able to manage that huge expense, overhead expense? I didn't think about it. I just wanted to start. On the other hand, he is more logical. I'm more emotional. He's more logical. He's like, you are spending so much, but you won't be having the runway. You are spending money that you don't have. You're taking up the loan. Now he's worried that I would end up in debts, all bad debts. So these are two perspectives. But I didn't give up. He didn't give up. What happened? I started completely ignoring him. Now, when someone, especially your loved one, if you ignore them, then they'll feel like you don't love them anymore. Now, when I started ignoring him, he started taunting me in a very sweet way, though. Like, you are doing this, where is the result? Tell me how many views. Like, he doesn't care about views. I was getting good number of views at that time, impressions at that time. He doesn't care. He cares about business. How much did you earn? What is the return of investment and all of those things? I didn't have the answer. The reason I got angry is because I didn't have the answer. He asked me about the return of investment, which is completely logic. You are telling that it's an investment. Okay, when will you get the returns? How much will you get the returns? What is the yeah.
I just wanted to add that you do not ask a woman a logical question, and don't ask a man an emotional one. Both will not have any clue. And the conversation is just going to turn into some horrible kind of an acidity. Over to you.
In fact, we'll cover this up in the next episode, Surya, if that's okay. Uh, do not ask yes or no to a woman, and do not answer a yes or no from a woman. Do not ask emotional questions to a man. Do not ask logical questions to a woman. So we'll cover up all of these conversational relationship communication in the next episode. But right now, yeah, that's the situation, the context. Now, It went on for months, almost 5 to 6 months, no results. And that's when taunts started happening. I started feeling hurtful, and there was a time both of us exploded. And we felt that this is the end of our relationship. In fact, we started communicating that as well. Like, Surya has a very horrible habit. He says that every relationship has a cycle, and this relationship is going to come to the conclusion and the cycle is over. I got so irritated. Seriously? अचानक से? And but again, I didn't know how to communicate that. He didn't know how to communicate that. He tried his best to share his concerns. The best part is he didn't blame me. He did taunt me, but he didn't blame me for anything. These are two different things. He shared his concerns, and after a couple of months of lot of self-reflection, I understood I should have communicated this to him, that I wanted to do and I needed his support. Rather, I did it all alone. So here, I'm the one who is independent and emotional. He is the one who is logical and more of a team player. So when these things happened, when we exploded, that's when things actually started working out between us. I exploded. In fact, I became very emotional. I, in fact, cried. And I said, "You are not supporting me. I really wanted to do something." And I started venting out. Now, here, between Surya and I, we have something called when one person is venting out, the other person shuts all judgment, shuts every single thing, and listens. The other person will not jump to give conclusion, will not give advice, will not give suggestions, will not ask questions that are not supposed to be asked, rather listening. So I started venting out, he started listening. Once I'm done, I took a huge sigh, and then he started asking, "What is that you want to do?" Yeah.
I think it's important that I also share what's going on in my mind before you can continue with that whole conversation. And it's also important, once Yogeshwari is done, I'll give you my side of the game as well. Okay. So this is me. She has shared the whole episode, and I'll tell you what's going on inside of me. The first is, whenever you want to make any investment, okay, let's just say you are investing in a course, you're investing in some kind of a branding, you're investing in marketing. Why do you want to invest in marketing? Why do you want to grow your brand? What is the objective? And for us, the objective is, okay, we want sales, we want leads coming in, we want people to join our webinar so that they can buy our course or buy our membership, whatever it is. But we don't have anything to sell. Now, the moment someone is taking an emotional decision, I am not clear that the person is taking an emotional decision. I know that it's just a financially, from a financial standpoint, it is a stupid decision. Again, it's only stupid until unless someone does it. But question is, do we know anyone who has done it? Or maybe it's 1 in a million who have done it. And the probability of being 1 in a million is literally 1 in a million. So the whole objective of having that conversation was first to understand and then suggest, because at the end of the day, I love Yogeshwari. I need to make sure that I ensure that she doesn't go through any troubles, especially because we both come from very, very, very humble backgrounds, and we understand and respect the significance of every penny that our parents would earn and bring. Now, from a point when I saw that there was no going back, I had given up. Honestly speaking, I had given up. But like Yogeshwari mentioned, and this is, I feel, as a man, it's a responsibility. When a woman in your house, could be your person, it could be a friend, it could be a someone you know, your mom, your relatives, could be any woman in this world whom you know, if they are talking to you and they are crying, you leave everything else and you give them that time. That is probably the greatest karma points, that good karma points that you can ever earn in your life, because women are embodiments of emotions, women are embodiments of divinity, women take the world forward, so you have to be there for them, because the world isn't, and that's why they're sharing with you and not anyone else. So that whole episode, when she was crying and she was telling everything, Yes, I had to put in a lot of efforts, internal efforts, to hold myself back from speaking. Even if you speak, it's not going to make any sense. When a woman cries, when a woman is emotional, logic takes a backseat. It's not just for women, it's for any human being. You just give the support. Once you do that, they will open the space for you, because by that time you would have earned their trust. And only then the questions begin. Instead of telling something, that day I decided to ask what Yogeshwari was just sharing. So now, yeah, now you can take that forward. No, what is it that you want? Over to you, Yogeshwari.
So he started asking me questions like, okay, so let's just say everything else is taken care. What is that you want to do? And then I said, I want to make videos. Okay. Now, how many videos, how many times, what are the details? And then I said, I just want to make videos without any pressure, without any expectation, without waiting that when am I going to earn. I just want to make videos for the love of making videos. I just want to make videos because I love speaking. I just want to do it. And then he asked me, okay, let's just say if you are going to do it, when will you do it, how will you do it? And then I started sharing the details that I will do it on YouTube once a week, and then I will do it on LinkedIn every day. And he asked me a very crucial question. I didn't expect this question, in fact. He said, okay, what is the support that you need from me? In fact, I was at the one end, I could feel the love, the empathy, the depth of his thought process at that time. And I just said, in fact, I'm getting emotional right now. He was expecting for financial support, tools, and other things. I just said, just don't taunt me. So that actually opened up a lot of things, a lot of emotions in me. He understood what I was going through, and that's when we understood each other better. Now, this is just one piece of conversation that we had like this. In fact, this conversation is happening between two people who loved each other or who love each other even now. Even during that conversation, they did love each other. The reason we are sharing this is because even if you love someone, you can still end up hurting them, knowingly or unknowingly. I hurt Surya, he did hurt me back. But when things turn worse, when you don't communicate, or when you communicate in a wrong way, the best thing what happened with us is yes, we did end up hurting each other in a wrong manner of communication, but we ended up accepting the fact and facing it, fighting the battle together as a team against the problem. This I learned from Surya, that it's not you versus me, it is us versus the problem. That day, we literally practiced that. We became a team and we wanted to solve the problem, both of us. That was the only intention. I didn't want to complain or blame that he didn't support me. He didn't want to complain or blame that I took a stupid, foolish financial decision that ever anyone can ever take. Rather, what happened is happened. How can we move forward and come out successfully in this situation? And that gave us the breakthrough. I started, now from that time onwards, I got my complete freedom and I got my judgment free space. For a woman, if you are a man who is listening to this particular podcast, and if you have your mother, your sister, your spouse at your home, and if you feel like something is off, something is not right, I'll tell you what's happening inside a woman. For a woman, that judgment free space is the biggest gift you can ever give to them. No matter what they do, Do not judge them. Okay, so if you don't judge them, then how can you tell them that they are not, they are going in a wrong direction? So Surya asked me, okay, what else do you want me to do? By any chance, if you find me doing something that I'm not supposed to do, and if you feel like I'm falling into a threat, if you feel like I'm going to end up with a problem, instead of completely putting a full stop over there, completely stopping me over there, completely holding me back, be my friend, come with me, and help me dissect between what's right and what's wrong. As my partner, stand beside me, not against me. Do not put a full stop. No, you're not doing this. No, you're not investing. No, you're not recording videos. No, you're not going out. That no, you're not is a problem. Rather ask, you are doing this. What are you expecting from this? Let's just say when whatever you're expecting is not happening, what's your backup plan? Do you need any support in that? Do you want me to do the background check? You have the complete rights to go ahead and do that. But there is something called risk assessment, risk management. Can we do that together? Can we sit and talk this through? Even if you feel like your spouse, your mom, your sisters, they are doing something wrong, you should never be their enemy. This is one of my biggest relationship mantra. Write it down. If you really love someone and if you want to correct them, you should never be their enemy. You should always make them feel that you are their biggest support, you are their biggest strength. They can come to you no matter what for anything and everything. You would never judge them. You would give them that safe space. Rather, you would be there to fight against the entire world for them, and that's when they'll open up to you. And I trained this to Surya. I said, this is what I want. Be this person to me. And the day he started being this person to me, then we started having a lot of conversation. That's when things started slowly falling into place. And we started having this conversation. Before that, we had a lot of arguments about the kind of coaching programs that we are going to do. I wanted to go in one direction, he wants to go in one direction. We used to pull each other. It's like a tug of war. And then when the rope breaks, that's it, everything goes into ashes. After that, we started listening to each other. I understood that he wants simplicity, he understood that I want depth. We just brought both together, so that it's not about Yogi, it's not about Surya anymore. It's about the one who is going through the journey. And that's the beautiful way the cohort started building up. And Surya, I wanted to hear your side right now. I think I spoke a lot. I wanted to hear your side right now.
Yeah, I mean, while we are doing this live at the same time, parallelly, I'm also checking in the transcript, and I didn't know that Zoom has this very nice feature where every single time we are speaking, the entire transcript is right here, and we can just turn it on and see whether we are making any grammatical errors or not. So maybe next time when we are doing this, we have to. It's crazy, and I'm just checking. The last time I spoke was exactly what 13 minutes ago. So it's really interesting. Just kidding. I mean, groundbreaking. Yes. Over to
I want to ask you, I was so emotional and I was sharing so many things, and you were checking my grammar? How dare you? People, don't do this with your spouse. You will get chopped. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I wasn't actually. It's just that I was just checking how many words, what all is coming and all or not. And also at the same time, just because you were sharing such groundbreaking stuff, I was just looking and reading the same as well, just half and half, so that I can absorb auditory acceptance and then visual. You know that I'm a kinesthetic person. It'll just get absorbed beautifully. Guys, this is how you manage. Learn from the best. Okay. Coming to the question that you asked. So I have a very, very bad tendency. When this I got it from my mom. I know it. Every single time there's a conversation going on, I always have the tendency to take complete control of the conversation and weave it exactly the way I want it. Whenever I see that there is some kind of a trouble that's going to happen, I always foresee it in advance. And I just want to stop it there. That's it. There's no questions asked itself. But in this whole process, and because call it the curse of having a good memory, I remember the date, time, incident, words spoken, exact words, quote unquote, every single thing that happened. And like I said, I got this from my mom. Every single time such situations would come in, I would not just talk about that incident, I will bring back all of those baggages also in that conversation. But at that point of time, what Yogeshwari spoke about, it was not about all the previous mistakes that we have done. In fact, it is through that conversation in itself when I realized personally that when you fail forward, you fail fast, and failures are actually learnings. When you get rejected, you are being told no, you are not given what you want. That acts as a proper reality check for you to work that extra hard, to take those further steps. In that conversation, at that point of time, the only objective was Yogeshwari is not feeling good, nor am I. And if Yogeshwari doesn't feel good, is there any possibility that Surya will feel good? Mind you, this is Yogi Surya and not Surya Yogi. I'm very particular about this. Okay. Every single thing that we will be creating together in the future as well, whether it's the house, it's in her name, whether it's the electricity bill in her name, whether it's the business, Sun's Den is in her name. Because I feel women are the Lakshmi in the house, and she is, you can just see how beautiful she's looking. And who wouldn't want her to lead? But at that point of time, when your partner is going through a difficult period of time, the best and the only way to help is to give her exactly what she wants. While asking those questions, I was just trying to find out, while she was giving the answers, right? There were these certain answers that was irritating me. Now, instead of charging and allowing the irritation to take over, I was turning that irritation to a question. So let's just say if I said, I asked Yogeshwari, what is it that you would want to do? She said, right, she wants to make videos. So I was like, again, oh my God, this girl is again started. Videos are same thing, run after millions and millions of views. By the way, this is my male ego taking over, okay? But then I curbed it down. I said, wait, why does she want to make videos? What does she want to accomplish? Okay, we don't know about it, right, Suryadeep? So let's ask that, no? So I'm having a lot of internal what's that called? A boardroom meeting with my mind, my ego, my spirit, the lover Suryadeep, the completely pissed Suryadeep, the Suryadeep who wants to achieve a lot of it. There's a boardroom meeting going on internally here, okay? And then the common consensus that comes in, all the investors are giving a thumbs up, only then we are pitching a question, not even a statement. The only objective is we need to move the needle, we need to get results, we want to work together as a team. And for that, even if it takes 2 o'clock in the night, we don't sleep the entire night, really doesn't matter. But getting this entire thing solves a lot of things. It's also important for the woman to understand, because let me assure you, a woman's life is a gazillion times harder than a man's. I did not like staying with my parents. I packed my bags and I left. For a woman in India, it's difficult. I don't like a job, I can switch jobs. It's easy. For a woman, they can do so as well, but they are subjected to a lot of social criticism. I mean, I can go on and on. I mean, I don't even want to get into period cramps and all those mood swings and all these different things that a woman gets subjected to. So, as a partner, if you are not creating that safe space, what's the point of being in a relationship, isn't it? So now that you mentioned, you were talking about all those points, right? You mentioned about you had just stopped on that active listening part. I just wanted to share what was going on inside, and you can now take it further, Yogeshwari.
Now, this active listening started helping us from removing all the judgments, coming together as a team. and we started building everything from the scratch. Now, again, mind you, none of the doubts that we had in our mind got cleared. Everything is exactly the same. But only one thing changed is we stopped judging each other and we started listening to each other. Every single time I wanted to make a video and I wanted to invest in social media, Surya has a big question. How long should you have to do this in order to see the result or start seeing the result? How much you have to invest? Is it really worth investing? Is it really worth your time? And that's when I just asked myself, like, why is he having this challenge? Why can't he see the results? Yes, social media is a long term journey, it is a marathon, it's not a sprint. But when you have big visions, you also have to take big actions. If you just want to settle down for something mediocre, settle down for below average, you don't have to put in a lot of efforts. Right now, you are sitting and watching this episode because you want to work on your communication, you want to work on your relationship, you want to break through all of these things, and that's why you are investing your time, right? And that's when I asked myself, okay, so for him, social media is altogether a different perspective and it is my responsibility to help him understand. So I, instead of all this while, mind you, I was compelling, pushing, or thrusting my perspective on him, saying that social media is something that you can. That can get you long term results. Social media influence is important if you want to make your name in the coaching industry. Now, from that, thrusting my perspective from that, I started switching to asking questions. Now, this is called strategic questioning. We'll talk about it in the upcoming podcast, but right now I'm just sharing what did I ask him. I started asking him, why do you think social media doesn't work? And then he gave me the answer because it hadn't worked for me. And then I told him, okay, when was the last time you created something and then you saw some result? He said, I joined a communication program in 2020 and then I made videos. Yeah.
I think one very important question which you asked me just before this also is what what is it about social media that you don't like? And that was such a brilliant one. Uh, and I still remember my answer to this date. See, you can definitely invest as much as you want on social media. Get the best video editors, get the best thumbnail designers, the script writers, every single thing you can get it. But you have to invest, right? Which means you have to give them money. Where is the money? Now, here, as of from the time when we had discussed, uh, Yogeshwari was just about to get laid off. I was a little dicey with respect to my job as well. And let's face it, we as human beings are the only species on the planet who need money for the basic needs, food, clothing, and shelter. So when we don't have our food, clothing, and shelter, there's no security over there. You are busy investing money, which you don't have, on social media. Now, this was me giving the answers, which were very logical, very, very organized as well. Then she started asking me all these other questions as well related to it. And that's when the whole question of, okay, when did you start making videos, or the community that you was a part of? So just before you continue that, Yogeshwari, just thought I'll share this chain of thought also, just to add on to that. Yeah, over to you.
So here, Surya, I wanted you to speak about this because yes, I did ask question, but the answer came from you, and I want you to bring that emotions as well. What are the questions, and what is the answer that you gave? What is the breakthrough?
So that conversation always were an all-time different level itself. I was looking for the success. I asked Yogeshwari, what success are we looking at? And the only success that we need for our social media is if people watch our videos, then they will feel certain connect. If they feel certain connect, then they would be interested to join our webinar, to join our courses, to sign up for our programs. And that way we can make money by helping and serving more and more people, teaching them communication, because at the end of the day, that's the skill that we have learned. Now, because we have experienced a sold out live cohort, she started asking me things like, uh, uh, what made those people sign up? What went on? What was the point of uh, people knowing more about you? And what we realized was the public speaking group where we were a part of, like when I realized we were making videos, I was interacting with people, making comments, uh, responding to messages that I was getting from people, clarifying doubts, showing up for the sessions. Everything, and the single thread that held all together was just being me, sharing whatever I want to the world. But not even once was I able to do that consistently, publicly. It took me 8 months of efforts so that the 32 people joined the first time we conducted a webinar, out of which 8 people paid us money, and we were able to earn 24,512 rupees on the 28th of May 2021. I literally felt like the king of the world, because just few months back I had got into my first job and the entire month's salary was just 23,000, working 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. I was able to earn more than that in 90 minutes because of the efforts that I put in. And because of the questions that Yogeshwari was asking me, I was clear about it. She was listening to those answers and then asking me the next question, which takes the conversation forward. One of the craziest skills in, especially in relationship between two partners, when you can carry forward a conversation by asking questions. It not just takes the emotional aspect away, it also, because we organize our thoughts beautifully and share, and we both speak in a foreign language. I mean, her native tongue is Tamil, my native tongue is Bengali, and I can guarantee you, in our mother tongues it's not possible to organize the thoughts and share. It's not. It's just because we are speaking English, and we both speak English. When she's an MA, she's from London. No? I mean, that's what we all say in our community. Okay, Yogeshwari is from London. Suryadeep is not so good at English, but has learned how to speak in English fluently. So it feels good to hear from Suryadeep also, because he's hyper energetic always. The point is, because we're speaking in a foreign language altogether, it becomes easy for us to construct what we want to, what we are feeling. And we have these different words also in English dictionary, right? Different emotions has different words of expression, and that way understanding and everything becomes easy. So that's how we came to that common ground, and since then there has been no looking back. That's what has been. Again, I don't want to get into the depths of what did she ask, what did I say, and all of that. I'm sure you're getting the essence of it. The idea is, the more the when you experience it yourself, that's when things become messy. But the only thing that we keep telling ourselves is, how can we solve this? First of all, what is the problem and how can we solve this? The focus is on the we here. When I asked her, she told the problems and then we solved it together. I asked her questions, she only gave the answers. When I was facing problems, I just walked up, Yogeshwari, I'm facing problems. She asked me questions, I gave the answers, and the problem got solved. That was the process we've always followed. Back to you.
I just wanted to clarify two things here. As you said that we are speaking a foreign language, which is English, and that's why we were able to speak with this depth and answer, organize the thoughts. Well, we trained ourselves to do that. Even if you speak English, still organizing thoughts and putting it in a way that other person understands easily is a skill, and you need to train your mind for that. Now, if you are wondering that I don't know English or I cannot speak English the way you people do, but I'm good at my mother tongue, if you can train yourself, train your mind to organize your thoughts, you can do that in your mother tongue as well. The only thing is you would find slight difficulty for the vocabulary. In English, the we were taught English. In English is an official language. So everywhere it is English, dictionaries are there. So we have that wide range of the spectrum of emotions and the wide range of vocabularies are there. So it is slightly easy. When it comes to mother tongue, we don't use so many words and the depth of the emotions we don't express. So it becomes slightly difficult. But if you feel like you want to do it in your mother tongue, feel free to do it in your mother tongue. That's absolutely okay. Number two is, yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
I really have a bad habit. I think I have to stop this. Whenever Yogeshwari gets into the zone of number one, number two, even before she is able to complete number two, I pitch in, and then number two never comes. Okay, so so the whole intention of saying that is because we trained ourselves to organize our thoughts in one particular language and speak that. The process of learning that skill with respect to that language has built such a strong foundation that we are taking it further to the other languages that we speak as well. So next episode, when we are going to talk about how did we decode the relationships with our parents, there we will be able to break that entire thing down. How she speaks to her parents in Tamil. I speak to my parents in Bengali. There are certain relationships, couple of friends as well. We had certain arguments with them as well. We had to speak with them in Hindi. So, but the concepts and the principles of organizing your thoughts remains the same. Yeah, Yogeshwari, number two.
Good that I didn't forget the number two. So the number two is, as Surya and I, we had discussed about the situation, how he made videos, showed up to the community for 8 months, and that got him those 24,000 something something in the month of in 2021. We reverse engineered that, and I asked Surya one crucial question, which is, at that time, oh, okay, he's very specific about the numbers. He has mentioned it that it's 24,512 rupees. Thank you, Surya, for that. In 90 minutes, he was able to clock that. I asked him, what made you clock that number? It's not about the 90 minutes effort. And then he thought for a while. He answered, I made videos. I asked him, how long did you make videos? How many days? How many months? He said, 8 months. Not even a day I missed it. And that's when I asked him, if 8 months, this is the result, can we do it for at least a year before we could stop judging, before we could judge, and before we could come to a conclusion that it's not going to work? And then we started decoding the next step. Okay, I did it in the community. I didn't have any pressure. Nobody is forcing me to do it. Such a perfect thumbnail, such a perfect script, such a perfect editing. I just did what I wanted to do. I didn't have any pressure. But here, so much of pressure is there on social media. When you look at the giants, legends, they are killing it. I can't match them. And then I asked him, okay, yeah,
I mean, this conversation is going quite amazing, and just I'm remembering all those points. Also, I told her about these challenges where first is you are telling me to do it for 8 months. For the 8 months, who takes care of the food? Who takes care of the all those chores or all those things like roti kapra makan? Who takes care of it? And then you have what's that called? The process. How many videos? What to do? What not to do? All those things. Yogeshwari, I saw her at times. For one 60-second video, she's taking the entire day. I'm not like that. I record what 10 60-second videos in 10 minutes. Boom, 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 done and dusted. Doesn't matter. Don't tell me to do it again. Don't tell me to repeat again. I want my natural flow. And most important part is, are we going to do it for the world to be perfect in every single way, or we are going to enjoy the process first and make progressive changes along the way? So all these emotional reasons, logical reasons, every single thing, I just kept asking her over and over again, and she decoded the entire thing, again asked me a question in case if she did not understand, and we were able to come to a common ground and also manage our finances properly. In fact, I think we'll probably do one of the videos later on how the importance on how the influencers, the fintech influencers are teaching you how to manage your money. Nobody is talking about how to earn the money in the first place. So all of these multiple interactions just went on and on. Yeah, over to you, Yogeshwari.
I'm taking note of all the points that he is sharing that I'll share later in some other video so that we don't miss that out. So I'm writing it down. Now, coming to how did it get culminated? I am going to wrap this up. And as he started sharing more objections, I started giving more breakthroughs, which is okay, how did you do during your internship time? He said, I just did whatever I like. Okay, what is that you like right now? I like speaking without any filters. And that's how this podcast came to existence. We just like speaking. So we are speaking right now. In fact, we just knew what is the topic and then we let it flow. That's how every single podcast we are recording together right now. And that's how he is doing his life. And that's how I am doing my life. Now, this is again, we are two extremes. I'm a perfectionist and he's a simplifier. He takes complex things and he simplifies that. I take simple things and I make it complex. Yeah, I do that. So, okay, let him laugh. You can also laugh if you are watching.
No, I'm just thinking this part is going to go viral at some point of time because for a woman to admit, it's crazy. Over to you.
So, we started blending and I accepted his simplicity. I told that even I love speaking. Let's do live. I don't like just like that talking and recording and posting. If I want to record and post, I better do it perfectly the way I want. If I don't have to look for perfection, then it has to be live. So we started live. It's going fantastically well. Now I'm also bringing in my perfectionism, which is doing one or two videos that are way too perfect, that stands the test of time, that's going to be evergreen where people can listen to it in loops. Now that's how we bring the two extreme poles into a common ground so that we can find the path that is exclusively for us and we can design something that is exclusively for you. Thank you so much if you are listening to this podcast. We have taken a lot of time, but we have had a lot of fun in this podcast. I'm sure even you had a lot of fun listening to all the tantrums that we are throwing. This is us in our most raw, vulnerable self. Now, if you feel this is powerful, if you feel connected to it, and if you want to learn how to do this, all you need to do is check the links in the description. You will find the link to a cohort, to our cohort in the month of December. Hop in, your life will never be the same. Surya, any last words? And you can wrap the meeting after that.
I think the only last words would be when you are communicating, especially with your partner, even before that, you need to know yourself better. What is it that you are going through? Until unless you are crystal clear about your own communication, both the emotional and the logical side of it, it doesn't make sense to talk to another person. The reason now in retrospection, I feel I don't have friends across school and college because the people in school and college, their thought process, they're probably not even aware about what's going on inside of them. So they only have the climber support of peer pressure to feel any form of self-esteem or self-relevance. I might sound a little controversial or a little extreme here, but that's the truth. I mean, you and I both know how many friends across school and college we have right now, isn't it? So why not really work on ourselves first? And then, as and when we meet people, we start working with them as well. Doesn't matter whether it's a security guard outside a building or the grocery seller or even the love of your life. When you are crystal clear about what's going on in within, it becomes far easy to communicate the same with the other soul as well. So let's kickstart that. And if you have a partner, just like I have, it's not about you. It's always about your partner. And that's the only way you can team up. So I love you, Yogesh. And thank you for doing this with me. Yeah, I think that's it.